Hi y'all, it's Jess from Snow Beauty Co. Thanks so much for joining in week 10 of my weekly vlog. The first highlight I wanted to tell you guys about this week is that I got my argan oil in from Morocco. Argan oil only comes from Morocco, and so it's really exciting for me to see the delivery truck pull up. And actually, I almost ran out and tackled the delivery guy because I was so excited and kind of talked his ear off about what I was doing. So he was really sweet and humored me. I ordered about 3 gallons. The next step for me is finishing up the labels. So I've been living on the FDA website a lot, making sure that the labels are in compliance with FDA requirements. I've also been working on the components or the packaging. I want the packaging to be really nice. There's actually one key thing I still haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, and that is the bottle lid. So I'll be selling the argan oil in a 2-ounce bottle, but there's a couple of different options for the lids. And I have them right here. I wanted to show you guys. One is like the typical bottle that you'll see for oils, and that's where it's got this little thread, and you have to actually unscrew the top, and it's called a dropper bottle. So you unscrew it, and then you actually get the oil in there, and then just squeeze it out onto your face or your hair, wherever it is you're going to use it. So what I don't like about that is just this motion of having to actually take my bottle and then, go and do this whole unscrewing motion. And then it's a little awkward once you have the dropper bottle and, do you put that on your hand? Do you put that directly on your head? It seems a little clumsy to me. So I've never loved those. And sometimes it makes it where I won't use a product because I know it's going to be kind of a hassle to unscrew that lid. And I know that might sound silly, it's just one little step, but I really think taking out any barrier to using a product is a really good way to go. So I actually prefer bottles that are a pump. All you do is literally, take this and squeeze onto your finger, and then you can, use that however you'd like to use it. With a pump, you have to make sure you pointed it in the right direction, otherwise you'll end up spraying it across the room. You have to be careful with that, but I'm curious which one most people will enjoy. If you have a preference between a pump or a dropper bottle, I would love to hear your thoughts on that and to see which one you prefer. So leave a comment below and let me know. The second highlight from last week is getting a draft of my logo from my brother-in-law, Jason. He's just been the sweetest. He's actually a graphic designer and also is an engineer at a company that does e-commerce. We've kind of been going back and forth on what the logo is gonna look like. I'm just gonna actually kind of spill the beans and tell y'all some of the things we've been thinking about. One is a kind of a botanical leaf or flower that has a snowflake within the flower, and the snowflake looks like veins on the leaf, so it's hidden within this graphic of a flower. And what I like about that is that, it points back to the name, snow. It's also kind of feels botanical, which is something I wanted. When I first saw it, I was like, I love it. And then as I've been sitting on it, I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't stay with me, and it doesn't really evoke an emotional response when I look at it. And what I'd really like is for my logo to be simple, but for it to be something that does evoke just an emotional response from people, where, when they see it, they're like, oh, I love that, that's so cool. There's a few logos that I've seen that, really kind of capture me that way. And so there's an animal that I've been thinking about, and this was actually one of my sister's ideas, and at first I thought it was crazy, and then it's been growing on me. And that idea is to use a narwhal for the logo. I haven't seen any logos with a narwhal, so I like that it would be unique. I like that it doesn't really make sense with the name Snow Beauty Co., so it really stands out to you. And I like that it's kind of like the unicorn of the sea. So it's just like a fun animal people have an affection for, and kind of makes you think of yeah, it's weird, but it's cool. And kind of goes back to my whole philosophy of, wanting to encourage people to really press into them and what makes them unique and to be real. And so I felt like a narwhal might be fun, but I don't know, once you look at all these logo ideas for a while, like you just kind of start going crazy trying to figure out which one's the best. And so we'll see what happens there. Once again, I would really love your feedback, and just, you know, if you have any thoughts on those two logos that I was talking about, then let me know. It's important to me to get those right. So I'll even put out product with labels that don't have a logo on it before I'll settle for a logo that doesn't feel right for Snow Beauty Co. The third highlight from last week is my dad. He had a birthday this week, and he's always really encouraging me through anything that I do. So I wanted to take a minute to stop and just talk about him. When I used to be in accounting, I was studying for my CPA exams, and I would just like totally feel discouraged that like how am I going to get through these difficult exams. And there were several times I called him just crying and going like, I can't do it. And he would always tell me, yes, you can. Like, you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you're going to make it, and you're going to be fine. And with this new venture with starting Snow Beauty Co., you know, it's really fun because he used to ask me about questions about accounting, like how are your deadlines, Jess, and how's your team doing, and you know, just how's work. But he knew kind of the questions to ask me. Now that I started Snow Beauty Co., he's like, I'm not really sure what to ask you anymore. And so one of the metrics that he realized was important for Snow Beauty Co. was to grow my Instagram following. So every day I talk to him, and every day he asks me, hey Jess, what's your number today? And he always remembers the number from the day before, and he'll say like, all right, 5 more. We are celebrating every single new follower, and my dad is just like a rock in my life. He is just the hardest working and the sweetest and most encouraging person. I hope that you have somebody in your life who's a cheerleader for you, because I think that's so important in any venture that you have. You know, for me, it used to be accounting, and now it's starting a small business, and I just have a village that's behind me, supporting me, and encouraging me when I'm like, this is taking me too long, or I'm not doing this right, or I'm having to learn a billion new things, and I really want to put out the best product for you guys, and I want y'all to love it. And so just to have people behind you who are encouraging you, I think really helps to, you know, take things to the next level. If you don't have that in your family, you can always find that in friends or in mentors. So just be bold and ask someone like, hey, will you mentor me? I can't tell you how many times I've done that. And I think just approaching things with a heart of like true humility, of saying like, I want to learn, can I learn from you, really opens up the gates for you to be able to invite that guidance and just mentorship into your life. So that's just been invaluable to me throughout my whole career, and all the people who've just poured into me, from my first manager, you know, to my parents, of course, to my husband, to friends, or just random people who I've seen online who I really respected their work and would just be bold and reach out and say, hey, like, I really love what you're doing. I'd love to learn from you. Can I take you out to coffee? Or, you know, just reaching out and being bold, I think makes all the difference in the world. So that's my third highlight. Find your village, find your tribe, find the people who will be your cheerleader. It's so important with whatever it is that you are conquering. That's all I have for you guys this week. I'm going to be working really hard this week on continuing to figure out my labeling and getting my argan oil ready for market. If you're in Austin, I'm probably going to be going to some farmers markets to be showing off my product and just kind of introducing Snow Beauty Co. So I will let you guys know when those events happen. So if you would like to come swing by, you can. And I just wanted to tell y'all again how much I really, truly appreciate you following along in my business journey and cheering me on. You guys are the very best. I appreciate y'all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you here next week.